Okay, Halloween is tomorrow. I better finish this up. Hey guys, welcome to Calico Radio. I'm Taryn. It is officially 2 weeks before Halloween, and I have decided to knit my own Halloween costume. I'm going to recreate a David Bowie jumpsuit. So I've had this idea for definitely more than a year. I don't know why I waited till 2 weeks before Halloween to start. He worked in the early 70s with the Japanese designer Kenzai Yamamoto, and he created these knit jumpsuits. He has two really famous ones, but one is asymmetrical, so I think by nature that one's going to be a bit harder to recreate. So I am going to create the second one, and my idea is I'm going to use two patterns by Jessie Made Designs. The first one is the mini mock neck, and then I'm going to hopefully get to the shorts as well. And I'm going to use another Jessie Made design for that as well. The original jumpsuit also had leg warmers and arm warmers, which I know I'm definitely not going to make those. They're not super practical, so I don't think I could really get much more wear out of them outside of Halloween, and there's just no time. So I have already bought the yarn. I went the other day to a yarn shop here in Dublin that I've never been before called Winnie's. I went with Drops Alpaca, which I'm still not sure if that was a good choice, but I was kind of prioritizing softness over stitch definition, which I don't know if that was a good call in retrospect, but let's see how it goes. So I have my yarn, I have gauge swatched. For the mini mock neck, I did get a gauge for the stitches, but not for the rows, but that's definitely fine. The mini mock neck pattern is just essentially a base that I'm going to use, and I'm going to have to heavily tailor it to fit with the color work. So let's check out the pattern and go start working on our stitch fiddle. So I have created my chart for my front and back panels, and I'm ready to cast on. The first several rows are just in black, so I thought I could talk and knit at least the first couple of rows before I get into the chart. I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit about why I decided on David Bowie. In the fall time, I do tend to listen to older music. It's just kind of a period of nostalgia a bit more. Like you're coming off this summer and things are slowing down, but everything is very cozy, and I don't know, I tend to think about falls in the past. One of the more notable autumns that sticks out to me in the more kind of recent past was during the pandemic, because everything was very slow. And I started listening to David Bowie a lot during COVID and a little bit before as well. I was living in Germany. I was living in Berlin at the time, and I was living just on the street actually from where Bowie's apartment used to be with Iggy Pop. So he was just a bit more on my radar, and I obviously knew who David Bowie was, but it just wasn't something that I grew up listening to. Like my parents didn't really listen to him or anything like that. And so during the pandemic in Berlin, everything was shut down, and I remember especially in that fall period, we were allowed to go outside, but you really couldn't be around other people, and it was just kind of an uncomfortable time to be in public. So I used to do really early morning walks, and since I'm a morning person, that was perfect. Like almost nobody would be in the streets. I would check out kind of historical spots and random places around the city and the outskirts in the early morning hours, and often be listening to David Bowie. So that's kind of why I want to make this costume. I was thinking about that period a little bit, with it also being fall time now. Actually, one of the more notable memories was in the springtime during COVID. That was like right at the beginning of lockdown, I guess. And I went outside the city to see the cherry blossoms, because Berlin has a ton of cherry blossoms. I think it was in 1998, Japan donated over, I think right around 9,000 cherry blossom trees to Berlin to celebrate the reunification of Germany. And they planted a lot of those trees along where the Berlin Wall used to be. Maybe I can find some pictures, I'll pop them in there. I just remember going there early in the morning and listening to Heroes by David Bowie. A lot of his songs now, when I listen to them, take me back to those early morning walks during the pandemic. And I thought it would be kind of cool to recreate one of his costumes. So I'm very excited to make this top and think about those memories, kind of nice memories in a dark period. And of course, listen to David Bowie while I make it as well. I will get going on the back panel and work on that chart that I created. If anyone is interested in checking out the charts, I'll include them all on my Ravelry project page, and I'll leave a link to that project in this video's description box. Okay, I will see you guys once I've gotten a little bit further along and show you my progress. Okay, so a quick check-in, mostly because I've already changed my plan since I've created the chart. Well, I don't know if you can hear Max snoring, but he's really going to town down there. I realized that it wouldn't look very nice to have the color changes right along the armholes because for this pattern you don't pick up any stitches. This is the finished edge for the armhole. So it's better if the color changes appear a couple stitches in. So you can see these are the tails for the color changes, and that'll be great because I can just weave them into the edge and you won't see it right along the edge when I'm wearing it. Another big thing I changed was I did not include all of that color work that I showed you in the chart earlier. The yarn is pretty transparent. I don't know if you can really tell from here. And because this is white and the pattern is red, it would have been really easy to see the floats on the back here. So instead, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to just knit the blocks of color, and then I'm going to use duplicate stitch and create that pattern on top of the work. I don't know if I'll do that for all of the motifs in this design, but I think it makes the knitting process a little bit easier. I am honestly a little bit surprised how fiddly this yarn is. I do really like how soft it is. That was a big reason why I picked it. But I am finding that the stitch definition is very uneven, which I have heard that about some drops yarn for whatever reason. Maybe it's also just because it's so smooth, it's hard to get a really even tension. Especially along the sides here, I'm a bit disappointed so far, but it is just the edge, and maybe blocking will help fix that a little bit. But it's all good. This is kind of an experiment, and this is just for fun. I am going to continue working this back panel. I will show you guys what I have, and then, yeah, we'll have to create the front panel then. Wanna come say hey? Come on. He just wants to look out the window. We just got back from a walk and yeah, he's pretty tired, but he's never too tired to grumble and bark at the neighbors. Okay, so a quick update. It is the next day and I have worked a bit more of the back panel. And as you can see, I decided to work the color work here. The color changes are more compact and it was a bit easier to catch my floats in the back here. The inner X's turned out pretty well, but there still is some issues with tension. And the side X's are pretty messed up, as you can see right here. I realized, which I kind of already knew, but I realized that I picked the wrong yarn for this project. I don't think alpaca has enough structure to work color work. I think a merino would have worked better, or more of a rustic yarn. I do tend to prioritize softness over the best yarn for the project. I know I pick alpaca way too much, but I just love how soft it is. I do think that these kind of looser stitches would have probably happened anyway, because I know when I go from a knit to a purl, sometimes this happens. And I think by changing color in that section, it just kind of exaggerated it even further. So I think my solution is I'm going to tear this apart. I am not going to incorporate this side edging, this I-cord edging, and I'm just going to work the panel flat, nothing fancy, just stockinette. And then I'm going to pick up stitches at the end around the armholes and work the I-cord that way. The other thing I'm going to do to solve the issue with the alpaca, hopefully, I'm going to work the white section, and then like this section here, I'm going to just work yellow. And then I'm going to come back with duplicate stitch and I'm going to add the motifs in afterwards. Let's see how it goes. I'm definitely getting very excited. These are nice little hints, I think, and I'm excited to see what it looks like with a more even tension. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here to give you a quick update. I have finished the front panels of my top. As you can see here, the tails are a little bit out of control at the moment. I thought about weaving them in just to make everything look a bit nicer, but I think it's better if I wait until I've added the I-cord. Oh, I guess Mac is going into bed. He's used to me making videos of him, so he doesn't know why I'm not recording him. Right, come on. You want to give it a smell? So everything's coming together really nicely. I really like how the black on the shoulders sits in the same place. Since the front panels were longer than the back panel, I had to work extra rows of the black on the front panel, but it all worked out pretty well. So I have joined the front and the back panels now, and I'm working in the round. And I also did design my stitch fiddle for the rest of the body. It is going to look a little bit different than the top panels, which I kind of expected, honestly, because I didn't do all of my math in advance. So like the X's and the yellow bits are going to be a little bit further apart on the top panels than they will be in the body, but that's fine. I don't mind that much. I kind of went with a pre-written pattern just so then I could kind of go with the flow and make adjustments as I go rather than doing all of my math at the beginning. It was kind of cool to work with the mini mock neck pattern as a base, even though I've adjusted it a lot at this point. I think this top is going to be even longer than usual because there are a lot of design elements that I have to include, or that I don't have to, but I'd like to, so it looks like the original. And yeah, I'm going to keep working on this, and I will check in with you guys in the next couple days once I have a bit more work done, hoping to get the body done in the next day or two. Let's see. I have finished the body, and I was afraid actually that it would be too long. I measured it and it was already reaching over 40 centimeters, which usually I like my tops to be about like 42 centimeters long. And this one was like 41 before I started the bottom. But for some reason, I don't know, I guess because of all the negative ease, it's stretched widthwise. So I ended up doing just like a tiny folded hem. I did go down half a needle size, so then it wouldn't flip out. And I have already done one side of the I-cord edge along the top here. You can kind of see this little black folded, this black I-cord edge and one of my tails, many tails on the inside. And now what I have to do is the I-cord for the second side, which you can see here, there's still a lot of tails and it's a bit looser, like you can see more of my bra. And the neckline, which I'm actually pretty excited to work the neckline. I'm going to work in 1x1 ribbing, the same as the mini mock neck, but I'm going to make it a bit thicker, not as thick as David Bowie's. He has like a full-on turtleneck on his. I'm going to do this section of the top here in 1x1 ribbing. This head hole is relatively big. It is bigger than what's originally seen in the mini mock neck because I did adjust the total stitch counts and that kind of stuff. And time-wise, we are less than a week out from Halloween, so honestly, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do much more than this tank top. Let's see. With any of these kind of like knit-alongs or challenges, I always want to make sure that the knitting part is fun. Like I don't want to make it a rush. So I'm very excited to do the neckline, finish up the I-cord, and yeah, then I will block it and we'll start working on the motifs. Hey guys, so the top is blocked, but it is the day before Halloween. I kind of let this project get away from me. It's been a busy couple of days, but after I washed the top and laid it out to block, I kind of forgot about it for, I don't know, 4 days or 5 days or so. This weekend was pretty busy. I went to the Dublin Fiber Festival, which was super fun. It was a very manageable size. It was also my first fiber festival, so it was nice. I got to look at all the stalls a couple of times. I went with a friend and we got a coffee and it was very relaxed. I did get one skein of yarn, which is this really cute speckled hand-dyed yarn. I think I might make the Musselburgh hat with it. So I didn't do any knitting on Saturday because I went to this, and on Sunday I ran the Dublin Marathon, which was super fun, but it really wiped me out for the last couple of days. After running the Dublin Marathon, I kind of thought I would work on this because I would not be very mobile, but I just wasn't feeling like working on a fingering weight project, especially duplicate stitch where I have to look at a chart. So instead I cast on a sweater. I cast on this super simple raglan sweater with 6.5mm needles, and I actually cast this on Sunday. So I've just kind of been working on this, and at some point I realized, okay, Halloween is tomorrow, I better finish this up. I am excited to finish it. I do feel much more normal and excited to work on this today. So today I'm going to try and finish this up. I am really happy with how it fits post-blocked. It's not maybe as razor-backed, or I don't know if you can say razor-back for a front, but oh Mac. Hey buddy, wanna say hey? He just likes to bite the mic, you know, these little hairs. But so yeah, I'm very happy with the fit. I think Mac and I are going to go for a walk because the sun is out, and then once we get back I will start working on the duplicate stitch for this top and hopefully finish by tomorrow. Let's see.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Hey guys, welcome back. I have finished the top, but I'm sure, as you can guess from the time cards, I did not finish in time for Halloween, nor did I get anywhere close. Somehow that does make it better though. I did work on this top every single day since I talked to you guys last. I think it was 8 days ago, and I'd say I probably worked on this every single day, minimum 1 hour, maximum maybe 5 hours on the weekend. So I'm pretty sure the duplicate stitch actually took longer to do than knitting the actual top, which is pretty wild. It was very fun, very satisfying. I'm also glad that I went back and I redid the folded hem. I didn't like how short it was with the folded hem, so I thought if I did this ribbing, it kind of would also tie the top together with the top ribbing and then this same color combination in the middle of the top. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm actually not standing in another location to show you guys the top because it is very dark right now in Dublin. I think in the last week we've maybe had 3 hours of sun, but I will pop in a couple photos so you guys can see what it looks like on me properly while I'm standing. I think I'll hold off and do the shorts maybe next Halloween. I kind of want to break from the fingering weight projects, but very fun to knit. And yeah, thanks so much for coming along, guys. I really appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.